Well, hey Internet, this is Steve of 1000 Year Home. So I build stuff designed to last 1,000 years off-grid. So let's take a look at this bridge I'm working on. Today is mud day, which means I get to pour concrete, which means once I start, I have to keep going. So that's what I'm working on. So this is the form, if you notice. It's a Vinci suspended bridge with timber underneath it. Forms are in place. I put down pumice stone as well as a grid on it, stucco grid as well as rebar. So the edges are deeper because I want the support to come from the edge. This is my thoughts pouring concrete. I'm going to pour one side on both sides so that I have an equal weight being loaded up on these beams. So the concrete will press against each other as I do that. Then I'll do this side. And then I'll do the middle. And I'm hoping that this stays green all day long as I pour, so that the seams fuse against each other. I am using a small cement mixer for this. Let me go ahead and get set up and bring that over.
Well, let me tell you, when you're working with concrete, you don't want to do any extra physical work yourself. So, I could have drugged that concrete mixer over. It's on wheels. But even just invest in as much as you can to help yourself with this. There's no easy way to work concrete. It's very, very physical. So anyway, you use the little fork truck, pick up this cement mixer. It's a couple 100 pounds anyway. It's not light, but I don't bother with the wheels on it. This is the way that I move this thing around. But that's a common theme here. I'm trying to preserve myself. Scott isn't out yet. I'm doing all the work myself. So now I'm pulling all my tools together. A lot of these buckets just ended up being all cracked. So I have to go find new buckets. I'm using pond water straight out of the creek, and already I've got the Ryobi mixer running, and I'm dumping mud. These mixes are 100% pure Quikrete, 80-pound bags. So when I'm all done, that's 160 pounds worth of concrete plus, let's say, another 15 pounds or 20 pounds of water. So in 2 buckets, that would make each bucket worth about 90 pounds a piece that I'm moving around. So you'll notice it's not far to the bridge. It's maybe 25 feet or so. But I'm still using the wheelbarrows because let me tell you, 90 pounds in each bucket, 180 pounds plus carrying is just too much on a frame. And I'm by the end of the day, I did the math. I moved about 5,000 pounds from here to there in these things because I moved them multiple times. Scott moved about another 3,000 pounds when he shows up. But all of these Quikrete, they're going straight into the I-beams that I made. And you'd have to watch one of my previous videos. I'll put them in the link. Here's a view from the other side, a more close-up. So you saw me move the tools in. You see that I'm being careful to, and I have back brace on too. And now I come back with the concrete and I dump it into the I-beams on each side. So those are about 8 inches deep underneath the bridge. They're encapsulating the Da Vinci bridge, which is timber frame. So the timber frame's completely encapsulated in concrete. And you notice I'm loading equally on each side. This bridge did have a little bit of deflection back when it was timber, but right now you can see it's forming up. Now, when I'm done, there'll be 2,000 pounds of concrete over the top of this bridge. Plus, when Scott and I get on, there's another 500 pounds worth of man. So you're looking at 2,500 pounds of weight on a Da Vinci bridge that I built at 1/3 scale. Scott even bounced up and down. I said, hey, don't do that until it cures. I'm not that confident in it. But the design work of using the pumice stone as a base and then the rebar and then adding on top of it the stucco grid, man, this really worked out. I'm very pleased. It's a 10-foot long pedestrian bridge. I could build a 20-foot long bridge this way just using thicker timbers. Very, very pleased. And this side that you're looking at will be 100% concrete. The other side will be 50% stucco, 50% concrete. Because if hailstones the size of basketballs fall, like the Bible says, I'm still a little bit ahead. I got concrete and whatnot ahead of me, and you can't shoot through
sandbags.
No, you can't shoot through
You know, I have the neighbor behind me that's a gunsmith, so he worries me all the time. Now, he sounds like he's got targets. I can hear ping, ping, and you know, but there's not to say I want to get a ricochet one day.
Exactly.
And
or what if he gets drunk one night and just starts randomly shooting?
or you know, somebody comes over who's not as skilled.
Exactly.
Right. You know, he's showing off to a cute girl or something.
Yeah.
He shoots me. But with you know, the earth bag home, it wouldn't matter. I mean, you know, the bullet wouldn't penetrate is what I should say.
Right.
Rather than it wouldn't matter. Okay. All right, everybody, this is hard work. So we went through all 20 bags of the 80-pound there. Scott joined me halfway into this. I'm gonna go ahead and smooth this out. I've got another pallet over there. We're gonna bring that over while this cures, but I've got enough to get this all done. But I don't know about the end caps. We'll see about those, but at least I could get the arch done. So that's job one, to get that done. Well, my camera is so dirty it keeps turning off, so I don't know if it'll stay on, but all right, so I poured half of the bridge, or all I-beams are 100% quickcrete, which 10,000 or 30,000 PSI, I forget, a lot of strength with rebar. Now I'm doing the overcoat, so one half of that we're gonna go pure concrete. The other half we're gonna mix stucco with concrete, with the idea of when I put it up on the roof, I might wanna do stucco, because the weight of the concrete comes from the aggregate. I might wanna do stucco with a styrofoam to make it even lighter. I'm not sure, but anyway, we're going to take that step right now. Half of the bridge will be a bag of concrete with a bag of stucco, 50-50, right? They're both 80 pounds, aren't they both 80 pounds? Okay, and then I'm going to leave Scott to narrate while I go do some other work.
All right, so I have a little bit of water in the mixer right now. What I'll do is I'll take a bag. Take a full bag and very carefully, not really, but for this bag is going to be the stucco. Pour that right in, take off the excess, and then inside, I'll actually take you guys over there. Yeah, see, it's very chunky, it's very thick. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add some water so that the mixture we're trying to look for is going to be like a kind of like a Play-Doh. So just throw in a splash of water, let that mix for a minute. And then yeah, you'll be able to kind of see that it has like a consistency of like dough. In fact, this is probably even a little bit too wet. So you want me to do 2 bags of the stucco first?
One, no.
Or one,
bag
one,
of stucco
one
with
and one.
a bag of quickcrete.
That's
yeah.
right.
And you know, we did 2.5. So
2.5.
now that's twice what that's rated for. So, but you know, if I did 1 bag at a time, I'd be here all day.
Oh yeah.
And it seems to be handling it.
Yeah.
We'll let that mix a little longer since it's you know, stucco and concrete mix.
Let it mix more.
I'm not too worried about the structural energy because I still have the timbers under. That thing ain't complaining at all.
No.
So once it cures,
Just
man,
the
it's going to be
structure
super strong.
Yeah.
So I'm feeling really good about the roof. But this was all an experiment. That entire everything on that is an experiment. So, and I'm very pleased.
And for someone who doesn't really know the difference between stucco and the regular concrete, you probably won't be able to see it here, but the concrete here has the little stones compared to the stucco. You don't really want to try to breathe in all this dust, but you know, get it inside your system. You'll build immunity to it.
No, you won't. It's really bad for you.
It is bad for you, so don't do it. So again, it's dried, so I'm gonna add some water. It really does not take a lot of water. By the way, my name is Scott. You've heard my uncle Steve. He mentioned me a few times. I came out here to help him. You see me in probably some of his videos. I love doing this kind of work. It's fun. Anytime you can get outside and actually do some labor work, you know, I don't know, just something about it, you know, that it just really brings you back to your core, I believe. And you know, I think it just really helps clear out the mind too. It's been very peaceful out here working. Sometimes, you know, it's stressful, you know, but you know, whenever you see a problem, like for instance, we don't have enough of the concrete, so you know, I still get stressed out over it, find a solution, you know.
What does that look
Life
like?
is all about, you know.
You ready to, still kind of clunky?
Yeah.
A little more water?
Yeah.
All right. All right, man, I'm ready for that one when you're ready.
Yeah. But yeah, life is all about mistakes and, you know, trying to solve problems. So,
I'm going
you
to
know.
move the sport truck back so you don't get hurt
Okay.
on it.
And I think that's going to be the consistency.
Oh, good.
So we got a bucket right here to put underneath, because dumping this is not all that easy. Got a bucket. And then when Steve comes back, he'll actually do the pouring.
Hey, Scott, can I just keep you till 5 and take you to dinner?
Sure.
All right. Oh, man, like I nailed it. Woo, on video, I did it perfect first time. It's probably not running. Those buckets of mud are a lot heavier than a bucket of water. I bet you twice again as much. A bucket of water is 8 pounds per gallon, 40 pounds. These have got to be 80, right?
At least.
At least.
Nah, you know,
You ready?
I'd say probably about 90.
Well, okay, we know how much. It's 160 pounds,
Yeah.
right? Because that's plus the water, plus another 40 pounds of water. Man, I fucked that one up. The next one I totally missed. Listen, I say we just pour that into the third bucket.
Yeah. It's just a tad bit sticky.
I'm gonna steal the camera while I do this
Yeah.
layer, and then that way I could get all of that stucco used.
All right.
And on the end caps, I'm not worried about it, you know. In some respects,
That's one of my favorite things about watching, because I've been watching bus conversions, and
oh yeah, because
it's just funny how you can watch it and then it's like, oh, they did that in just one day.
yeah, you know, a lot of the ones that are from overseas in Asia, it says, you know, a guy built a jungle house. If you look, you can see the track hoe marks and the heavy equipment.
Yeah.
It's a government building these guys in the jungle. They didn't build their little farms so high.
No.
This is the real deal right here.
Exactly.
One guy out here solo. Hey, why is it taking you 2 years? Well, one, I'm doing agricultural work.
Right.
It's too hot in the summer to do anything.
Exactly.
And it's me, so if I have to get supplies, I have to go get them.
Yeah.
So I can't be, you know.
Yeah.
So it's remarkable when you and Franz come out how much faster a project goes, or even this, right?
Right.
I would be 6 hours is what I estimated.
Yeah.
You're gonna come and cut this down in half for me.
Go.
This isn't gonna work out too bad. So my goal then, I'm a little short. You see that I'm like a 1/4 inch short.
Right.
The idea is to get that, I want white.
Yeah.
White stucco, like stark Greek white, you know, the whitest of the white. Now I know it'll get muddy and stuff, but I think that would really pop to come through the gate.
It'll really pop.
See that?
And with the red.
Bam!
Yeah.
And you know, the odd thing is, Scott, I wanted to tear this down like twice because it was ugly and crooked, and you know, I didn't have faith in it, but I fortunately didn't, you know.
Yeah.
And I'm glad I didn't, you know, I'm glad I stuck with it enough to, boy, there's a difference. The stucco is a lot stickier, obviously.
Right.
You know, I can really feel the difference, even screeching it. It's remarkable how much difference it is. I mean, like, it's like a glue. You know, and obviously mortar is a little bit different, but mortar and stucco are more alike than stucco and concrete.
Right.
And this has a half concrete in it, but I'm telling you, it's stucco. It's gooey. I can feel it sticking to the trowel.
Nice.
Man.
I noticed too, by mixing it, it's a little bit different too with the water.
Was it a different mixture? Yeah. Like more or less, or what was your experience? A little bit more water? That makes sense because it's sand more than aggregate, so it takes more hydroscopic surface area. Yeah. Oh my God, I'm so old. That it?
That's it.
All right. Go mix me up some more, young man. Woo-wee, I'm sure glad to have Scott.
Here's this.
Thank you. All right, well, there you go. That was how I did all of that. You know, I just dumped it down, screeched it. I'm leaving it about a 1/4 inch all the way around available because I'm going to do a final mortar stucco coat in white. You know, where I'll cut the edges in, make it look really good. But half stucco, half concrete. I don't know what I lost in strength, but I'm not too worried because the ends are 100% concrete, right? That side over there is 100% concrete. This side's half and half. And then the ends, when I get to them, I'm gonna do them all in stucco just to see how that'll wear. Again, my whole plan is this bridge, I'm not doing landscaping, right? I'm actually doing a test bed for my roofing material to see how it works. And one benefit I see of stucco right away is that it sticks to the timbers a lot better, therefore making a more watertight seal. Now, I don't know how it will handle expansion, but I know stucco and timber have been together for as long as humanity's been sticking them together, right? 5,000-10,000 years. Anyway, let me finish this up real quick while Scott makes that last bit of mud on there. Hey Scott, you want to stick your hand in this today when we get done? We got to do the traditional sticking our hand in it when we're done.
So I want to take a second and mention that this bridge is a test bed for my roof, right? So not everything that I'm doing is best practice for you, but rather the laboratory experiment. So one half of that bridge is all Quikrete with the aggregate in it. Now this mix that I'm putting in, it's 50% brown stucco, which is silicon with Portland cement and lime without any aggregate. So that's going to go down. Then one of the end caps will just be all stucco and one will be a mixture. The point is I want to test my roof material, which I don't know yet. This bridge is that test. So now what I'm doing is best practice. Concrete would be the best idea. This is what I'm doing.
Oh, this is the next day, everybody, and I'm still pouring concrete. Even with Scott's help, I ended up not being able to get the whole bridge done yesterday, but I had already made arrangements for that. So I bought some concrete adhesive bonding agent. And the reason I did that is when I pour a roof that's 20 foot by 40 foot with angles and weirdness, there's no way I'm getting that done in a day or two or three or anything of that. What I'm going to even have to think how I'm going to do that. And what I think I'm going to do is pour as much as I can reach in a day and chase that around, and hopefully by the time I get all the way around, it'll be 48 hours and I can get on that next set of concrete, pour another spiral of concrete and another up the reciprocal ceiling. And that's how I'm planning to do that. I got to build the reciprocal ceiling first. So, but that is note to self. That is how I'm envisioning, because I want the loads on the roof. I don't want to pour all the way up one of the reciprocal panels and put a lot of weight on one side of the roof. I want to spread the load out, and I believe going around in a circle is the best answer. So when I do that, I'm going to need the seams. I'm going to need to make sure that I could put the seams together. Now, I've done that kind of seam overlap before, and the right way to do it is to take a piece of PVC and put it on one edge, and then when you pull the PVC pipe out of the form, it's got a little a C-notch there where when you pour the next amount, it goes in and grabs the next amount. That's the right way of doing it. That's not how I did this, and I don't know if I'm ever going to be able to do it the right way. One of the beauties of a house like mine, which is Santa Fe Mission style, Adobe style house, is the fact that it's organic. So without further ado, let me go ahead and put this on there. It's just a concrete adhesive binder. You just paint it on, you let it dry. It's a little cold today, and so this will take a little bit to dry, but I'll paint it on before I do the rest of it. I might pull out those test spots before they have a chance to cure super hard in there, because the concrete will still be super green. So I have to be careful. I just poured it yesterday. It's been cool weather, so it hasn't had a full 48 hours to cure yet. So I'm expecting it to still be green. I'm expecting this to help me make great seams. One side of this, I'm going to go ahead with 100% concrete. The other side of it, I might do 100% stucco. Now, my stucco is not plastic stucco. It's genuine lime, sand, and Portland cement. Right? So, but it's a different ratio than concrete. I just want to see how stucco and or mortar would hold up. Now, I didn't buy any mortar. I probably should have bought mortar for a test, but I didn't buy any mortar. But stucco, mortar in the same family. I'm happy as a comparative. It might be what I put on the roof in a thicker row. We'll see. But let me go ahead, pull these out while you watch, paint this on while you watch, and we'll get ready. Then as this dries, I'll set up and get ready to mix the rest of the mud. All right, let me pull those out just out of curiosity, these little test buckets, and then those will be what I'll put styrofoam concrete in to test, because I want to see how well styrofoam concrete holds up. So again, this is probably still pretty green. I'm going to be careful. I'm hoping not to crack it completely. In addition, it still needs and I'm hoping to use a white stucco or a white mortar topping over the top of this. So a little bit of roughness is okay. I did indeed. It's so green that I flaked off the concrete. Actually, this is stucco / concrete mix. That'll be a good test to see on this side versus that. I'm going to leave the little pile of bits right there so I can look at them later. Do some pressure testing on them. This feels really good. I'm going to tell you right now, it feels super stable. The bridge used to have a little bounce to it, and now it's just rock solid. It's super stable. Feels good, it really does. All right. All right, I'm going to make a couple more test spots. For example, that might be a 1 styrofoam by volume to 1 concrete by volume, or Portland cement. I don't want to use concrete because that makes it heavy. That might be a 2 styrofoam to 1 Portland cement. That might be 3, etc., as I go through. So each one of those where I pulled the buckets out will be test spots where I'll do test of the styrofoam concrete. Everything about this is a laboratory, and I really like that part of it. I'm going to go ahead and remove these blocks holding down the rebar and see how much it bounces up. Well, maybe not. Maybe I'll pour some concrete first. Let me do that. All right, so now I'm going to paint that concrete bonding agent on the seam right there. You can see the seam, and that's that part of the bridge that you see right there is half mortar and half concrete. I'm just interested for wear and tear. Would be a lighter weight, more volume compared to concrete. So again, talking about lightweight concrete, which is an arbitrary thing. I'm saying, lightweight. I should put air quotes around that word. But once I add styrofoam to it, it will indeed be lightweight. And of course, I'll go online and look at other guys and gals who've already done this experiment, get their information. Now, read the instructions on this bonding agent. It can be used. It can be used in a wet format. It should be dry in this thing. But for stucco, it's supposed to be slightly damp when you use it. I'm just going to pour it into the seam and then, do this. Blah, 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 blah. This is probably green enough. I don't need to even do this, but I am. Because on the roof, I want to make sure I have good seams between the concrete and the next run, right? There's a little low spot. Do that. And if I have to pay just a little bit of money for an adhesive to help me get there, then that's money well spent. All right, I moved over to the other side of the bridge. Again, another test pad. This one I didn't have enough yesterday to do all the way around, so I'm going to continue on with it. All right, there we go. Now this stuff's supposed to provide a chemical bond, so I'm expecting it to live up to that. Get rid of the loose stuff. says Quickcrete concrete bonding agent, adhesive for something, something, something. Permanently bonds new concrete to existing concrete. I did read the instructions last night. These are basically it. If it was a little warmer out here, it'd be a better deal for me. Well, a couple of tools I forgot to talk about. Trowel, spud, I had all that. But I need to mention that's a Ryobi, I think it's half cubic yard mixer. I mix routinely beyond that into a full yard. You heard it, it's doing just fine. If I wear it out, I guess I'll buy another one. I have a big 5-yard mixer that goes on the back of my tractor, but I got to get my hydraulic top link going. And if I'm going to have power, I got to have a way to get it to it. So this is an F-150 hybrid. It's got the 7.2 kilowatts available in split phase in the back. Right now the truck is running and you don't hear it because you know, it's running on battery power. The way it works is the engine kicks on and charges the battery up, and then it's done. So I've been running the ranch off of it, but today I'm running that Ryobi mixer, and I've looked at it before and it's well underneath it doesn't even register. I don't know, it's 100 watt, way under that, like a light bulb worth of energy is going through that thing. Truly amazing. Let me go ahead and turn it all on and start mixing up for you. When you get to the close to the mix you want, you're dealing with like cups and quarter cups of water. You honestly are. Don't be deceived by the heavy mass of the concrete. And a little bit of water goes a long way in it. Read your instructions, start under that, and then add as you go to it. You know, you can always add a little more water to something too dry. You can't take the water out. You'd have to add more mud. And if it's too sloppy, it won't pour right, or it won't have the strength you need. All right, everybody, it's back and forth just like that. Mixing it, filling the wheelbarrow, going back. In between, I'll throw the water in there so it doesn't cure or harden. I'll add the extra concrete into it, and then I'll screech. You know, I'll go in there and I'll you know, use my trowel and trowel it off as I go. I don't have to be in a big hurry. It's cool weather. If this was Texas in the summertime, I couldn't be this casual. It'd be hard to make a video, for example. Making a video adds about, I would say, 30% to your time. For those of you interested in making your own journal. Now, this isn't really a SharePoint or a YouTube channel. It's my personal journal of how I'm building. Slightly different purpose. I do miss having Scott out here. One thing, having somebody else to talk to makes the work go a lot faster. When it's just you versus the work, you're faced with the magnitude of the work. But anyway, I got y'all to chat with. The other thing, I've said I'm not a YouTuber, but you know, I've got almost 1 million views. I'm growing all the time. I'm enjoying the growth part. It makes me feel like other folks are on my journey. But I'm not here to sell anything. I'm not here to be an influencer. I'm not here to, you know, get you to my Patreon. I might write a book when I'm done about the steps and how to do it. I believe this can be done a year, even though I'm taking longer. There's reasons why I'm taking longer. How to do it on the cheap. I'm gonna build a, you know, a multi-million-dollar house when I'm done for probably $80,000. But it takes out of my life to do so, you know. But anyway, the purpose of my YouTube channel is for me to document my decisions as I'm going, rather than writing stuff down in a log. It's really easier for me to do this, video record it, put it in a thing, cut out all the repetitive stuff, put it up. I watch my own things when I'm like, oh, where did I run that electrical box? Or, you know, the conduit. I can't see it, it's behind the drywall. Oh, I watched the video. Or in this case, you know, for the test, you know, where on the bridge did I put pure concrete? Where did I put half stucco and concrete? Listen, I know that there'll be some civil engineer that'll say, I'm crazy, I shouldn't have done this. Underneath there, I've got that, you know, the Vinci logs supporting the thing. So if I notice it's all cracking, crumbling, coming apart, I will overcoat that bridge again with another 3 inches with rebar and just do it right. If I love that bridge. But if it's cracking and crumbling and I just think that it's, you know, my roof would crack and crumble, you know, I won't. But this is good for me to get it done in the winter, in bad circumstances. The weather's, you know, I'm right there at 40 degrees is where you like to pour concrete. I'm at 36 right now. That's bad business, right? But I'm doing it because I have to do it. And if it markedly changes, now a roof just needs to shed water, and I could put a membrane over the, whatever I decide, stucco or styrofoam concrete or whatever. So I don't mind the compromises on the bridge. They're good for me to have, because this is a laboratory, a step below, a little more wear and tear, a little more. I don't care if the horses walk across that pedestrian bridge and put some real pressure on it. Doesn't bother me at all. I hope that it lasts 1,000 years, but if it gives me a couple years head up on what my roof is doing by watching the decay here, then I can react, get a couple of years ahead on the roof, and maybe get another membrane, maybe get another layer, maybe take some corrective action, Thompson seal coat, whatever it takes to make the roof work is based on what's happening here with this bridge. Anyway, that's all mixed up. I'm gonna put you on stop motion while I do the rest of it. You can watch me fill that area and screech it out. On the other side, I'm gonna do the same thing, but I'm just gonna use pure stucco. So there we go. All right, I reset on the other side of the bank to get this last part done. So I know that I had said, oh, I'm gonna do all of that with stucco, but let me correct. So I want all of this to be concrete, right? Quikrete. I want it to be heavy duty, right up to, because that's over the arch. And then the stucco part will be the landing here. I really honestly don't care. This is on the earth, touching ground. It doesn't really matter. But I also want to get a little bit underneath that post. So that's what it will be. So it'll be concrete on the first part, 100% concrete, and then 100% stucco on the second part. And if I can remember, I'll put the test bucket in while I'm doing the stucco, but I got it out of the way for now while I pour concrete. I just want to be able to dump it up there. So I'm gonna go ahead and put you on stop motion because it's noisy and a lot of boring stuff happens while I do mud and the stop motion gets through. So let me go ahead and do that. Well, what a fun day. My grandson and daughter came, brought me dinner, helped me do mud. So the last little bit of mud always feels like a victory to me. This bridge didn't turn out too bad if you ask me. Now, just so you know, it will be coated with mortar, white mortar or stucco. I haven't decided, but white. So I'm leaving it a little bit below the line here. So I screech coat this out. It also has a small crown for the water to run off of it instead of sitting there. So there's a small crown in it. And I didn't have time to finish the buttresses before the rain came, but they'll be all covered in the red rock that's native here that came out of the ground. Mined it myself, didn't cost me anything. And this will be coated white. And then I'm thinking I'm going to paint the timbers red as I finish them up. That's my idea. but I've also debated turquoise. So put down in a clicky-clack if you want whether or not you think the bridge should have turquoise colored, like a Southwest theme, or red colored cedar timbers for preservative. But the white is my decision and will definitely be what color the bridge will be. So if you and David want to come put your fingers in this side, you can. It's ready. There you go. Anywhere you want.
It's not dry yet. It's still super wet.
How fun. All right, well, that's it for this concrete pour. This is Steve 1,000 Years. Where'd my daughter go? It wasn't just me. There was another mystery person here a minute ago. There she is. I think she brought me dinner. Did you bring me dinner,
I did.
love? Yeah, I got dinner. So I can clean up and eat. That'll look great. Like, subscribe, follow me along. Hey, David.